Hey everyone, happy Homebrew Wednesday. How the hell are you? Drinking up on my version of a Dropkick Nate here tonight. Cheers. It's pretty nice. So, I've been busy. Everyone's busy. But last few weeks just been doing some beers, preparing for the SJ Pour Challenge, of course, preparing for November 7th competition here in Oslo, and also just brewing up a couple things for myself. If we go back, I did the experimental brew with the experimental hops that I grew in my yard. After that, I did 2 brew weekends. One was the coconut porter for the SJ Pour Challenge. Rebrewed that. And I want to basically determine if it tastes better fresh or aged. So I've got like 17 of them that have aged, and then the one that will be going off to the SJ Pour Challenge will be shipping out probably Thursday of this coming week. Right now it's finishing up carbon, and then I'll go ahead and put them in bottles and of course do a taste test. The weekend after that I did another coconut porter, and that one will be going off to the competition next month. Let me go ahead and sort of show you some of the footage of that in the fermenters. So here you go. Okay, so what we've got here is the coconut porter that will be going off to the international winners. And here we have a coconut porter, which is going to be going to the competition here in Norway on November 7th. Here is the experimental brew with the experimental hops that I grew in the yard this year. Today I brewed up a Belgian wit. First time doing a wit with the WLP 400. Big shout out and thanks to Stephen Tate for sharing the recipe with me for that. I've got the clamps standing by in case I need them. The top is starting to bulge a little bit. The airlock is starting to have activity. I just pitched about 2 hours ago. So yeah, I had a 1.5 liter starter for this one. And yeah, it's already active. Not building up much of a Crownsen yet. But speaking of Crownsen, what I find interesting was that with this guy, with the coconut porter, you'll see this one is very active. It's brewed it yesterday, and you can see that there's no Crownsen. And I had the exact same thing happen with this one as well. So it's like the coconut oils are sort of suppressing the Crownsen, which I find very interesting. Alright, so that's the 2 coconut porters. Now, I went ahead and swapped some of those things out because, yeah, it's not exactly how it looks currently. The Belgian wit, I've since elevated up. I put the coconut porter that was in the bucket into the better bottle after I racked off the original from the better bottle into a keg. And also did up a couple coconut IPAs. So here's a quick shot of that. Alright, so things have changed a little bit. Now I've got the other coconut porter that's going into the competition November 7th. That is there. I've got the Belgian wit now put up here. It's just about time to go ahead and bottle these up. And down here I got 2 of the coconut IPAs that will be going into the competition November 7th as well. Actually, just one of them will be. And then that coconut porter, so a coconut porter and 1 coconut IPA. And 1 to keep for myself. So for the experimental beer, I've got that currently cold crashing in the refrigerator. And then also the Belgian quad, the Westie 12 wannabe. That's also in the fridge, so I'll go ahead and show you that. And if we take a look in the refrigerator, here's the experimental beer. It was just an extract with the hops that I grew in my yard. And down below here is the Belgian quad, so the Westie 12 clone, and that's going to sit there for well, till the beginning of November. So I'll rack that off into a keg or bottle with additional yeast. Um, yeah, like I said, first week of November. So in terms of beers, those are it. You know, those are the ones that are in the fermenters. Like I said, one of the coconut porters I put off into the keg a couple days ago. That's carving up nicely. I did two kegs of the Dropkick Nate. I've got Hefeweizen in there in the kegs, tasting really nice. Also got the traditional Irish Red still in the keg. I've got a brown ale, the Honey Nut Brown, and that's tasting very, very nice. I just kicked off the last of the Centennial Pale Ale, Centennial and Cascade Pale Ale. That was tasting really nice. It went really fast. But plenty of beers on tap, plenty of beers in the pipeline. So I'm at that point where I don't really need the brew probably for another 6 months or so. I know what I want to brew. I got one experimental beer coming up. It's basically going to be an Atomic Fireball Pale Ale, and that's using purely spices. A ratio of cayenne pepper and also cinnamon, and also a little bit of sweet and bitter orange bits. So basically trying to go after like a hot cinnamon sort of taste. You can get those hot cinnamon teas, which taste exactly like the Atomic Fireball candies that you can get. There are, of course, a couple other options. I don't think that we actually have Atomic Fireballs here in Norway. I haven't seen them anyways. But there's also that hot cinnamon whiskey, which is another option, but I don't want to put whiskey in a pale ale. I want to basically just go ahead and use raw spices and give that a go. There's also, of course, the Centennial Smash that I did a while back. That was freaking fantastic. The one that I just did, Centennial and Cascade Pale Ale, that was really good. That was really, really good. But I think 100% Centennial is just on my palate. That's what I really like. So I'm gonna probably do up a batch of that next, along with the Atomic Fireball Pale Ale. So in addition to the brewing, I've also made a couple purchases in the last week. So let me go ahead and show you those. All right. So purchase number one was the Lamota Brew and Water Kit. So it's a little brew lab. Very nice kit. I went ahead and used it yesterday, as a matter of fact, in order to do water analysis here at my house. And the numbers that I got, most of them were right close to a water analysis report that I got that was about 1.5 years old. Some of the values were different, and you know, I'm definitely going to go by what the chemical analysis told me. So yeah, really happy to have that. That's good for about 50 different analysis tests. So I'll be able to do this maybe once a month or so and just see how things change. So I'll probably do a video on this and show you actually how to come up with all of the reports that this one will give you. So, you know, if you want to look at what is your total hardness, getting down your actual calcium hardness, magnesium hardness, all of the other ones. Got chloride, sulfate, total alkalinity, residual alkalinity, your sodium, and pH if you bought the one with the pH meter. I did not, because I've already got a pH meter. And thankfully another package arrived just in time, and basically just some pH solutions, the buffer solutions, so that I can go ahead and calibrate my pH meter again. Also, another purchase here. So, kombucha. I've been watching some of the guys do up kombucha teas, and I really wanted to get my hands on a SCOBY so that I can go ahead and do one up. This one is like, what is this, probably like 10 centimeters across, and this is good for about a 1 liter batch, and it comes with 100 milliliters of starter fluid. So what I'll do is I'll do like a 1 liter batch and then reuse that 1 liter batch after 2 weeks and let that go into a bigger 10 liter batch and then build it up so that then I'll have a ongoing kombucha supply. So yeah, really looking forward to brewing that up. So this past weekend, I also had a chance to hook up with Gary, main brew guy. We did an In the Brew House series. So I hope to be putting that up in probably in about another week or so. It takes a little bit of time to edit it and then put that out. But yeah, definitely look forward to that. Gary's a great guy. He's got a lot of experience, a lot of good know-how. And if you didn't know, I mean, he's the guy behind brewtubers.com and that website. So he graciously allows me to post these In the Brewhouse series videos up there. And yeah, it's just a great time. He's a great guy. So check it out when that comes out. I also want to give a shout out to the Technicians Brewery. He's been helping out on the BrewTubers website, trying to clean out some of the spam that's going on. And yeah, he's got some really good videos coming out. He's got a really good whiskey tasting video, and he's starting to do Homebrew Wednesdays. He's really active up on the 17 Brew Crew forum. So yeah, just a shout out to him. Thanks a lot, Gia. Really appreciate it. Cheers, man. Cheers. So that's it. That's all that's going on in my neck of the woods. I hope you guys are having a hell of a week and have a better weekend. Cheers.